Okay, the meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners is called to order in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners was provided in the following manner. Published in the Press Atlantic City and mailed to the Current and the Hamilton Gazette, and has been posted on the bulletin boards in the county office building in Atlantic City, Stillwater Building in Northfield, and the county clerk's office in Mays Landing.
Ready?
Yep.
Heavenly Father, guide us that we may be productive leaders of our community, direct our actions and decisions for the service of others. Amen.
Okay, we'll stand and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, we'll have a roll call.
Okay. Madam Chair, Commissioner Parker is attending virtually. Commissioner Bertino cannot attend due to a work assignment, and Commissioner Gatto is on her way.
Thank you.
Ballas,
Present.
Horsey,
Present.
Days,
Here?
Fitzpatrick,
Here.
Parker,
Present. Virtually.
Grizzly,
Here.
Kern.
Here. Okay, the commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes from August 2nd, 2022. I'll entertain a motion to adopt the August 2nd, 2022 minutes as presented.
So moved. Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any comments from the commissioners? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto, Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, as usual, anyone in person that would like to speak during public comments, please come to the podium, state your name and the town that you reside. You'll be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. If you are attending virtually, please type yes and the resolution number in the question and answer box. Any items not listed on the agenda, you may speak during public comments. You'll be raised from an attendee to a panelist. When you're raised, please again state your name and the town you reside. Okay, and now we have a presentation.
Securing Our Children's Future Bond Act update for Atlantic Cape Community College by President Dr. Barbara Gaba.
Okay, today we're honored to have a presentation by Dr. Gaba, President of Atlantic Cape Community College, especially given that I'm sure Dr. Gaba is extremely busy as she and her team are getting ready for the upcoming school year. So thank you, Dr. Gaba, for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I was glad to be here. Never too busy to come to talk to all of you and to share good news about what's happening at the college, and to always thank you for your support. I know that many of you and also members of your family have attended Atlantic Cape, so it's a tradition. It always gives me pleasure to talk about what we're doing at the college. So I want to update you on a couple of projects that we have going on. And our first one I want to talk about is the Securing Our Children's Future Bond Act, which is underway. Next slide. And I presented to you back in April of 2021 a renovation project on our Mays Landing campus for our B building complex, which is Morse Hall, Boyer Hall, and Richards Hall. The largest building is the Boyer Hall, which is being renovated to become a state-of-the-art innovation center. And you have a rendering of what that innovation center is going to look like. It's going to house our new, that's the aerial view, okay, from the aerial view. It's going to house our new cybersecurity program and our new esports programs. And with these programs, our students will be prepared for high-wage, high-skill, in-demand jobs of the future as we continue to create pathways for students from high school, four-year institutions to also job attainment. So this is the rendering. You saw the outside of the building, and this is the rendering of what it looks inside. Okay, we have a lot of glass, a lot of open space. Next slide. Again, another rendering of what that building will look like. Another slide. Again, you get a full picture of what this new innovation center is going to look like inside. And as I mentioned, that's one of the buildings in the complex. The complex involves 3 buildings. The 2 other buildings in the complex will receive much needed TLC to make them more comfortable and learning conducive space for our students and faculty. So to make this substantial remodeling, it's really a whole remodeling of that space. We were able to utilize the Securing Our Children's Future Bond Act, from which we received $4 million from the state. And the Atlantic County government also gave us a match of 1.33 million. And we're very, very grateful for that. And we'd like to thank you again, because without the commitment, the creation of the Innovation Center would not have been possible. Also, Chapter 12 funds will, of approximately 3.6 million, will be used to renovate Morris Hall and also Richards Hall. So the completion of the project is proceeding despite being impacted by supply chain issues. You want to go to the next slide? And there it is, what it looks like today. It's under construction. You see it boarded up, and we're almost there. The grass is not in yet. When it was really, really hot a couple of weeks ago, we just couldn't put in grass. But that's what it looks like now. Okay? As I mentioned, there have been some supply. Again, the construction is almost finished. There have been some supply chain issues. The project has been impacted by the challenge of securing equipment in addition to manufacturing and supply chain delays, particularly with unit ventilators, technology, and audiovisual equipment. It's going to be heavily computer-based, and as you probably heard, I got up one morning to listen to the news, and they talked about the chips. They're having problems with the supply chain chips. And that morning when I came into the office, they said, oh, there's going to be a delay because we can't get the chips to go into this innovation center, which is very, very technology oriented. So we're moving ahead with the construction, but we cannot fill in the guts until the supply chain issues are resolved. So despite these challenges, substantial completion, go back. Despite the challenges, substantial completion of all of the 3 buildings is anticipated on August 19th, which is this week, which we plan to have a temporary certificate of occupancy. Now, with that temporary certificate of occupancy, as you know, people will not be allowed to go in, but we can start to begin to put in some of the furniture that we have, whatever we have at that point. We anticipate that this project will be completed by the end of September, and then we look forward to holding an official ribbon cutting for the ceremony for the Innovation Center. So please be on the lookout for an invitation. We're so happy about this. We're very pleased that we were able to get this grant for the Securing Our Children's Future Bond Act and for the support of the county to help us to renovate this campus. Okay, but we would also like to recognize and thank the Hamilton Township Construction Office for working with the college on altering plans to ensure that we complete the project in a timely manner. We'd also again like to thank the county government for the matching funds that helped us to make this project a reality. So we thank you for that. That's our big project. Next big project, that's a Mays Landing. The next big project we have is the Wind Training Center. It's in the final stages. The Wind Training Center is at our Worthington Atlantic City campus, and this facility will provide industry-recognized Global Wind Organization, GWO, safety training programs to prepare New Jersey workers for jobs in the growing and emerging offshore wind industry. Atlantic Cape was awarded $3 million New Jersey Offshore Wind Safety, Sea and Survival Training Challenge Grant to establish this training program and to build a facility. And we're very, very pleased about this. We had no match, and we got this grant from the state. We anticipate that this edition will be open in the fall, and a ribbon cutting, second ribbon cutting, will be held at the end of the fall. So that's in progress. So these are 2 major projects that we have going under construction, and expect to hear from us. I just wanted to update you on that. Turn to the next slide. This is what it's going to look like. It's finished. Atlantic City campus, right there on the corner. Big and bold. We're very proud of it. Next one, and this is the construction going on. Next. Again, they're constructing away. There you go again, the training. Okay, so those are the 2 projects that we have in progress now that should be completed soon. And we're always looking to update our facilities, whether they be particularly here in Atlantic County, Mays Landing and Atlantic City. And of course, all these construction projects, as you know, require funding. Construction is expensive. Materials are expensive. And we're always looking for opportunities and grants to help us with this. Just a couple of weeks ago, we heard from the state that there are 3 potential construction funding opportunities I just wanted to let you know that we're going to be applying for these opportunities as they come along. And we always seek grants and support to help us with these projects. One of the main projects that we're going to be working on is a complete transformation of the Worthington Atlantic City campus. Those of you who have been there know it. It's an old building, inside and out. We want to really make that building state of the art, to have a place that our students can come to. And, you know, it looks up to date. It looks modern. It looks like we have the latest and the greatest. And fortunately, with this particular funding opportunity from the state, we're estimating, the architects tell us it's going to be about $12 million. There's no match required. So hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, if we get this grant, we're going to be going ahead with that. And hopefully, I'll have some good news to come back and say we got it and we're moving ahead. Okay? We have two other things that we're going to be applying for. Again, we're going to be seeking grants. And the other things that we're going to be applying for is the equipment leasing fund, which is going to help us with some technology and computers. And then we have another one called the Higher Education Trust Fund, the HEDI grant, which will help us with our technology IT infrastructure for data center replacement and network switch replacement. Technology people tell me that's important. I don't know exactly what it is. But all that technology, the guts of that. And again, we're going to apply for that grant as well. And I will keep you posted on our grant opportunities that are coming forward to us. But again, this is all helping to bring our facility up to date, make it modern, and to make it attractive. I always talk about curb appeal. When students and prospective people come on campus, they want to see something that looks new and fresh. And if we're talking about the fact that we're in the age of technology, we got to show that we're up with the technology. We don't want our visitors and students to come into a room with old technology. Technology is changing so fast, and we're trying to keep up with that. So thank you for the opportunity to come and tell you progress that we've made so far in those two big projects. And I will keep you informed on the grant opportunities as we continue to pursue other things to help our facilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Gaba, I also want to thank you and your staff because you try to engage the community, the
Yes.
people coming in. And when I went out to the Smithsonian exhibit,
Yes.
that was fabulous.
Yes.
On democracy and elections.
Yes.
Beautiful. Great job. And you got a grant for that.
Yes, we
You
did.
had a state grant from that.
Yes, we did. We
And
got for
we're
grants.
bringing, if anybody hasn't seen it,
It's,
you know,
it was fantastic.
we're bringing in the camps, a lot of local camps were coming in, so, and it was free, so
Yeah.
it was very, very nice.
Yeah.
So I commend you on that too. I don't know if you wanted to say anything about that.
No, but that went very, very well. And usually when we
Yeah.
have these events, we will invite the public, we'll invite you to come and share that. It was on Voices of Democracy, and it was a part of the Smithsonian traveling exhibit around the country. Of course, you go to Smithsonian, it's based in Washington, D.C., but we were selected. We had to apply to be the site to have that exhibition, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was much more than I had expected. And as it turned out, our faculty member, Dr. Denise Coulter, she was really the one that organized it all. And she's now been nominated to serve in the New Jersey Council for the Humanities. So we're very, very proud of that. So thank you for your participation.
Absolutely.
And again, thank
Madam
you
Chair.
always for your support. We
See if
really-
we have a couple of questions here.
Dr. Gaba, if you can you give us an update if you have it on the Jeans here with you, your enrollment?
That's exactly what I was.
Okay, you know, everybody, we're all suffering. We're all, you know, people are still, here we are, third year of this pandemic. We thought we'd be out of it by now. I was waiting for the announcement. It's over. It's not over. People are still struggling with life issues, right? And trying to figure out what they're going to do with their life, whether I should go to school, take care of my family. There's a lot of uncertainty right now. This is the environment that we're living in. And when we look at our enrollment, we've done a lot of marketing to try to get people to come back, because when this is over, or we may have to live with it, people have to think about their future, upskilling themselves, so on and so forth. I think that we have been very fortunate in the fact that although enrollment across the United States and across New Jersey has been declining, our enrollment compared to last year COVID, comparing it to last year, has increased. So people are starting to come back. We are not yet at pre-COVID. It's going to take a while for everybody to get back to where we were.
Sure.
But we're slowly getting back there, and I'm very proud to say that our numbers compared to last year are up. And last year we were still in COVID. So we're moving in the right direction.
If I can just kind of build on that, I was going to ask about enrollment, and particularly in some of the newer programs, Dr. Gaba. How is that looking? Are we at like where we wanted to be for some of the initial years?
For the new program, the new programs coming in?
Yeah, for like cybersecurity, the
Oh,
WIN.
yeah, we got people registered for that. I don't know how we have. The cybersecurity, they're gonna be associate degree programs, and they are enrolling students, and they have 23 students enrolled so far,
Okay,
and we're still registering.
okay.
Okay.
And then we have the esports is new, correct?
Yeah,
And
that's
then
new as well.
the
So that-
wind tunnel stuff, and then we also have the all the aviation stuff we kind of did over the last couple of years, those
Yeah.
new programs, right?
So those are about stable.
Okay, they're
But
stable.
but I still say that we are still trying to get people back.
Yeah,
And it's gonna take a while to get back because people are basically dealing with life issues right now. And what we're saying is that we want to be here, we want to be the place so that you are ready to jumpstart when the time comes. We're slowly, I believe, based on the numbers that I see and compared to the fact that we are up from last year COVID, that we're slowly moving back.
great.
Also, if I may, I don't want to belabor the point. We can't thank Dr. Garber and her staff for the continued support in Atlantic City. When folks in that community ask to use their college for anything, there has not been one time you've told them no. Some of that kind of stuff goes unnoticed,
Yeah,
but folks in the community doesn't forget either.
yeah, now that you mentioned community, it was so hot last week, right?
Oh, we
And
know.
I was told that we were partnering with Atlanticare to have health fair, all the different health people in our parking lot, in the parking lot in Atlantic City. It was so hot. And I went there to give remarks. The place was packed. People from the community. I think if you follow us on LinkedIn, you'll see the pictures of all the health stations that we had. We had food, we had music, we had cold water. And people came out on all that heat. And of course, we had information about the college. And there was COVID testing, there was COVID, we had all kinds of health, and we partnered with Atlanticare. And I say that we will partner with all the community. Like I said in my speech, when I went to that speech on Friday, I said, we are Atlanticare Community College. Community is part of our name, and I told the people, we take community very serious. And anytime you call upon us to help the community to be out there, we will be there. As hot as it was, I was there.
And I said that to say, last week we had closing ceremony of our summer youth program, which we hadn't had in years. Soldiers Home, as we call it. Air conditioners were out, we put the employees out. Carnegie Library, we couldn't use it because it was too small. ACC stepped up to the plate, and the kids in there were able to do their closing ceremonies right at the college, which is perfect. It's right there in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Again,
We're there for the community. That's what we're
Appreciate it.
about.
I just want to also highlight on today's agenda, I'm sure commissioners see that there's numerous workforce development programs that we partner with the community college.
Exactly.
All of that really on that building of skills component that you just mentioned. So just want to highlight that so that people know, number one, that we also have that partnership, but number two, just for the public's sake, those programs are available to people out there, and there is funding for them if you're looking for a change in career or building of your skills. We have adult education programming, we have a plethora of options,
ESL and
right?
a lot of
So,
other things.
yeah.
Yeah.
just a little commercial.
Okay.
I think it's important that all of us, and we are ambassadors for the college,
Exactly.
and we emphasize to families the tremendous savings of money, tremendous savings, thousands of dollars we save by having the students go for 2 years
Right,
of community
exactly.
college.
Mhm.
It is the best bargain going,
Mhm.
and
John knows personally.
I know personally, my kids, me, it's the way to fly.
Yeah, it
And
is.
it's a great education, and we need to keep talking that up all the time because, sometimes you go to a party and you hear parents talk, well, my kid's going to Rowan, my kid's going here, my kid's going there. That's fine, and that's fine. But, if you really want to do something for your kids and save some money,
Mhm.
you go to community college for 2 years,
Right.
then do what you want to do.
Yeah, and also I should say a couple other things, is that we've been recognized by the state as an anchor institution in Atlanta County, which is very, very good. And most recently, we have been designated as a Hispanic serving institution from the federal government. We just got that designation, I believe, last year, because the number of Hispanics who are enrolling has increased. So we got that special designation. And the reason that the HSI designation is important because it allows us to apply for grants. And that's what we're doing, applying for grants for so many things that I've got people working on that to, because there's a lot of grant money, as you probably know, that goes unused. And I've got people who are dedicated to looking for grants, finding additional funds to help us, so that we can provide the best services and programs to the residents of our counties.
Thank you, Dr.
Madam Chair?
You're welcome.
Doc, just one question. The wind training center that you're building, actually, I just drove by it today and caught my eye. What type of training is going to be going on in there for what type of jobs in the wind industry?
Okay, so maybe Jean McAllister, she was one of the key writers of the grant. She'll tell you all the details of what that's about. Safety
So-
training.
Right, anyone who is going to participate in any of the projects through Ocean Wind or Ørsted, if you're hired to go out into the ocean to be a part of that, you must take safety training. You must take if you're going out in the ocean, you have to take the sea survival training. How do you get off and on a dock that's floating? How do you climb up high with 50 pounds on your back? How do you, so there's mandatory global wind organization certified training that you must take to participate in any project. So if you're a union worker, you're a welder, you still have to take this training. If you're part of the, digging ditches crew out in the ocean to lay the cable line, you have to take this training. So it's serious training because it is all about safety and security and being able to navigate in the water. So we're very proud that we're a part of that because basically you can't participate in any of those jobs unless you have that training, regardless of your union, non-union, whatever, you have to have that training. So we expect thousands to be walking through those doors.
So you have a captive market.
We
So
have-
the
we have
unions
captive
aren't doing it
market.
themselves. They're going to have to go through
Right.
accredited
They could
college
go
to
out
do
of
it.
state, but we want them to come to Atlantic City.
Of course.
Plus, we have great relationships with the hotels. We have discounts when they have to stay a week because it's a week-long training, 40 hours. So when they come, we have relationships with most, Tropicana is the first one, but others also to be, so that it's cost effective as well if they're coming from afar. So.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here and all that you do. Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll have an interview.
Appointment of Renee L. Fair as the Atlantic County Department Head for Regional Planning and Economic Development, effective August 1st, 2022.
Are we moving that resolution?
Yes.
Okay, motion.
Second.
Motion made in second. We'll now welcome Ms. Fair to the podium for an interview.
Hi, good afternoon. I'd first like to thank the county executive and the administrator for the opportunity to be considered for this position. I've worked in the county planning department for 19 years, mostly with the open space and farmland preservation programs. Over the last several years, I've also negotiated right-of-way easements and settlement agreements with property owners for various road and bridge projects. I've been a licensed professional planner since 2018. I've been an administrator to the County Agriculture Development Board for roughly 15 years, and I currently serve on the executive committee of the New Jersey County Planners Association. So with the various programs and projects that I've worked on, I've not only had the opportunity to work with county staff in a number of different departments, but also with different state government departments, various regional entities, SJTA, Pinelands Commission, DEP, Department of Agriculture. But also more importantly, I've worked with our residents and landowners, particularly as they are experiencing different impacts associated with county projects to help along that process. So again, I appreciate the opportunity and I look forward to continuing to serve the taxpayers of Atlantic County.
Thank you. Any comments from our commissioners?
I just want to say that I'm very impressed with your resume. You're highly qualified, I'm very happy to see a woman moving up to management in engineering is fantastic.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other comments from our commissioners?
Just a question. I mean, I've certainly been involved with you on several
Yes.
projects, Renee, and again, highly qualified, and I'm really excited for you being able to take a step into that leadership role. What do you envision are going to be some of your key kind of focus areas, do you think, in leading that department now?
Obviously, transportation is a big one coming out of our department.
Okay.
But even on the planning side, we're looking at things like the wind energy that's coming down the pipeline. We're involved in a lot of different stakeholder meetings and things like that. So that's certainly another one that we're taking a look at to see how it impacts our region. The expansion around the airport and the aviation park, and how that will impact economic development around the county. Those are obviously certainly big projects that we're working together, with our different stakeholders to move forward.
Great. I think the right focus areas.
Any other commissioner comments?
Congratulations.
Highly qualified, and happy to have you.
Congratulations. I have a whole lot of questions.
Wait.
I have a whole lot of answers for you today.
Do we?
You have the answers, because you get nominated, so I know you have the answers.
Do
I'm
we have
holding-
any,
I'm holding to next time.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna hold my questions to next time.
Okay.
No, good luck. Do what you want.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
do we have any public from any public comments?
It's unusual in my time, my tenure in Atlantic County, to see somebody go back. She actually went back for her degree and got the degree while she was working.
Wow,
Planning degree is
that's
not easy. I don't know if any of you know anybody who has a planning degree, but they're not easy to get. So you give her a lot of credit for that. And the other thing she learned right away from John before he left is we do no projects for the in Pleasantville, Atlantic City, or wherever they.
Good job. Good job, Gary.
Thank you, Jerry.
We took them out of Pleasantville, so we can work in Pleasantville now.
Do we have any comments from the public?
We're getting better.
Okay, seeing
Jerry, I
none,
got that on the back of the phone.
Yeah.
we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey.
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto.
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Interview wasn't that bad after all, right? 'Cause I knew Jerry probably told you to watch out for me.
All those qualifications, I can't imagine. Okay, that brings us to resolution 440. No, he's not here yet. Oh, yeah, I should mention, I know that we have our prosecutor, William Reynolds, but he did advise me that he's going to be a little late tonight. Okay, so resolution 446.
Amending resolution number 250 adopted May 17, 2022, a grant application and acceptance from New Jersey Transit for the Job Access Reverse Commute Program, funded amount $160,000, county cash match $160,000.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners?
Just a reminder, this is the 5440 Western End shuttle.
Thank you. Any other comments? Any comments from the public? Seeing, hearing none, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto.
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. As we go into resolution 447, I just want to mention it's good to see that we're continuing to take advantage of the grant funding from the Gatton Leap County Coordinator Program. It would be good in the next couple of months to get an update from the committee on shared services on the work currently being undertaken for future projects. Does that fall under you?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so.
I'll make sure we have.
Commissioner Gatto will coordinate that. Okay, resolution 447.
Amending resolution number 688 adopted December 21st, 2021, a grant application and acceptance from the state of New Jersey Department of Community Affairs for the Local Efficiency Achievement Program County Coordinator Fellowship Grant to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Chase,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 448, please.
Grant application and acceptance from the New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety for the state fiscal year 2022 Operation Helping Hand Grant, amount not to exceed $123,809.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 449.
Grant application to the New Jersey Juvenile Justice Commission for Innovations Funding, amount not to exceed $120,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to combine and adopt resolution number 450, 451, and 472, chapter 159.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any comment from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. So we go into professional service agreements with resolution 452.
Amended professional service agreement with an architect, engineer, designer, and other professional consultants from the 2015-2016 pool to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 453, please.
Amended professional services agreement with various architects, engineers, designers, and other professional consultants from the 2017-2018 pool to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Move.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick, Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to resolution 454.
Amended professional services agreements with various architects, engineers, designers, and other professional consultants from the 2019-2020 pool to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Move.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Yes.
Fitzpatrick, Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 455, please.
Amended professional services agreements with various architects, engineers, designers, and other professional consultants from the 2020-2021 pool to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Nothing from the public. We'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Yes, motion carries. It brings us to 456, please.
amended professional services agreements with various architects, engineers, designers, and other professional consultants from the 2021-2022 pool to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 457.
Professional services agreements with various architects, engineers, designers, and other professional consultants to establish the 2022-2023 pool on an as-needed basis for the Atlantic County Division of Facilities Management, amount not to exceed $750,000.
Move.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Corsi, Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries.
Madam Chair. Before we move on, question to Jerry. Jerry, where we at with the facility, the maintenance facilities on? Are we still looking to build a new building?
Oh, you're talking about the 10,000 square foot,
Yeah.
yes, correct, yes. You wanna,
I don't need it now. You can bring it later.
yes, yes.
I was thinking
Okay,
about it the
yeah,
other
yeah,
day, and
yeah.
then I just said something.
Plans are done.
Okay. Amy hadn't been keeping me up to date. Thanks.
Well, on that note, Madam Chair, if I could just ask, have we gotten the plans over to Northfield to like take a look at? I know probably their planning department, but at least they're elected officials as well, so they know what's going on.
I don't know if they're in that form yet, but did you guys have a meeting with them yet?
We just had a meeting, Monday. So we just had a meeting on Monday with the mayor and some of their council.
Okay, great.
To discuss the plans.
Great.
But we still have to go in front of them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to resolution 458.
Professional services agreement with various land surveying companies to establish a 2022-2023 pool of vendors, amount not to exceed $135,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made second. Any comments from the commissioners in regards to resolution 458? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Under competitive contracts, we have resolution 459.
Competitive contracts with various providers for the provision of a Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act in-school youth program, amount not to exceed $348,000.
Oh, second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners?
I have a
No,
question.
this is going,
Actually, Amy, thank you. I was going to ask what this was going towards.
just going toward the Atlantic County Special Services School District. They get a piece, and the Atlantic City Boys and Girls Club of Atlantic City get a piece toward the various programs.
Which they discussed yesterday in budget meeting as well. So there'll be the minutes.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Now, under bid contracts, we start with resolution 460.
Bid contract with Lansburg Construction Limited Liability Company for the reconstruction of Farragut Avenue, County Route 660 in the Township of Hamilton, amount not to exceed $349,433.58.
Motion.
Second.
Motion been made second. Any comments from our commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to resolution 461.
Bid contract with South State Incorporated for the 2021 State Highway Improvement Program, amount not to exceed $1,188,000.50.
Move.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commission? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Corsi,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Risley,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Okay, 462 is withdrawn, so that brings us to resolution 463.
Amending resolution number 315 adopted June 1st, 2021, an equipment use agreement with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Mosquito Control Commission to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Move.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners?
One quick question. Chair, this isn't directly connected, but I was told there was spraying in Brigantine yesterday. Was that, I mean, I'm assuming it wasn't the county because I didn't see any notice, but was that the state? Do you know?
I don't know, Greg is on me, so Greg could tell you, I didn't know that we were spraying, but.
Okay, so,
maybe Greg knows,
okay.
yeah. Greg's there, right? Greg, you there?
I am. I'm not certain. I don't recall seeing anything, announcement saying that we would be spraying.
Okay.
But I can find out and report back.
All right, thank you. We were assuming it was the state, but
Yeah.
nobody heard anything. So, all right, thank you.
Any other comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? We will have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 464 was withdrawn, so that brings us to 465.
EUS contract with Insurance Agencies Incorporated for a purchase of a treasurer's bond, amount not to exceed $1,166.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Any comments from the commissioner? Seeing, hearing none, I think we'll call. Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to resolution 466.
Interlocal services agreement with Atlantic Cape Community College for the provision of an adult basic education program, amount not to exceed $49,534.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to resolution 467.
Interlocal services agreement with Atlantic Cape Community College for the provision of a supplemental learning lab program, amount not to exceed $80,350.
Move.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Any comments from the commission? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 468, please.
Interlocal services agreement with Atlantic County Improvement Authority to bid and manage various county capital projects, amount not to exceed $93,445.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Corsi?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 469, please.
Memorandum of Understanding with the Township of Hamilton for purposes of the redesign and reconstruction of the trestle bridge over the Great Egg Harbor River.
Motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Any comments from the commissioners?
Madam Chair, just to give a little context on this, so the township is going to take the lead, kind of be the lead agency on applying for some grants around trying to get that trestle bridge crossable and safe again. Obviously, it's a county property, so we are signing the memorandum as a partner, but Hamilton Township is going to take the lead there. No cost right now, and certainly if anything were to come up, we would want to talk about that as, you know, a project that we would want to do or not. But just kind of the initial stages there. And if I could just highlight, this past week was the anniversary of a pretty tragic train accident in Mays Landing about, I think it was over 100 years ago now, at the old Trestle Bridge. If anybody knows where that is, it's a pretty cool spot to go walk at. Check out our old train station as well. But there's a local resident, her name is Mari. She wrote a book called, I think it's called City to the Shore, a Mays Landing train tragedy. Check it out on Amazon. Pretty cool book about our history and that train line that used to run through the county here. And they had a really nice memorial service for the victims of that crash. It's very, very interesting. I highly recommend taking a look at that. And there's a great community of historians and artists, both at the county and the municipality, who are interested in really trying to invest some time and energy and volunteer hours to try to make that area a place to visit. So,
Thanks. Thank you very much, Commissioner. Any other comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay, we'll have a roll call.
Ballas?
Yes.
Horsey?
Yes.
Days?
Yes.
Fitzpatrick?
Yes.
Gatto?
yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Grizzly?
Yes.
Kern?
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 470.
Resolution authorizing an agreement with the Atlantic County Economic Alliance regarding development of an aviation maintenance, repair, and overhaul activity at the Atlantic City International Airport.
Move.
Second.
Motion has been made and second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none, anything from the public? Okay. Have a roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. I believe Lauren may be on. I don't know if he had any comments.
There he is.
There he is.
I'm here just to say thank you. Just to double back real quick, it was exciting to hear Dr. Gaba's presentation, which is a great example of how education workforce development intersects with economic development. Congratulations to Renee. Look forward to continuing to work with her on offshore wind and aviation. We have a lot of work to do. And this 2 acres is going to be a big step in the right direction for us to educate our workforce to prepare it for the industries that we're working to attract, here in the county. And of course, this project is connected with the bigger 400-acre development that's going to occur out at the airport, which is going to be one of the biggest, developments here in Atlantic County in quite some time. As you may know, SJTA is negotiating with Industrial Realty Group to develop the 400 acres that the county commissioners helped unlock with some open space trust funds that Renee actually worked on to relocate a bird sanctuary. Here, this is eventually going to develop 1.5 million square feet of cargo and aeronautical facilities out at the airport. So, of course, the Atlantic County Economic Alliance, we're right in the middle of this. Can't thank you enough for your support. And again, thank you very much for continuing to support us, to put us in a position to diversify our economy.
Thank you. Thank you for all the work that you're doing, moving this forward. Resolution 471.
Bid contract with MB Markland Contracting Company for renovations and rehabilitation to the Warren E. Fox Nature Center at the SL Manor Park, amount not to exceed $537,678.
Move.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Hearing seeing none. Anything from the public? Okay, roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Brings us to resolution 473, please.
Change order number 1, a contract with Security Guard Incorporated, trading as Tri-County Security for security guard services to Atlantic County to extend the term date only, no additional cost.
Move.
Second.
Motion made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. Resolution 475, please.
Authorizing consent for a roadway solicitation event by Northfield Volunteer Fire Company Number 1 at the intersection of Tilton Road, County Route 563, Mill Road, County Route 662, and Shore Road, County Route 585 in the city of Northfield on Saturday, September 24th, 2022, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made second. Any comments from the commissioners? Okay, seeing, hearing none. Anything from the public? Okay, roll call.
Ballas,
Yes.
Horsey,
Yes.
Days,
Yes.
Fitzpatrick,
Yes.
Gatto,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Grizzly,
Yes.
Kern.
Yes, motion carries. So now that concludes the written portion of our agenda. We are waiting for another speaker to present, but he's not here as of yet. So we're gonna have open to the public. Or we could do the reports. Does anybody have a report of the special committees of the board?
Madam Chair, just from a Lake Lenape Dam Committee perspective, we are scheduled to have our next meeting on Monday, but we did get some news out of the press today that there's, I guess, and Jerry, maybe you can elaborate on this because this was news to me, that the September 30th deadline that we had to have everything out to bid and encumbered to receive that $4.6 million federal grant for the dam. That date seems to have changed, according to FEMA, which is great, but I don't want us to take our foot off the gas, and I'm sure we'll talk about that more in Monday's meeting. Did you want to add anything there?
No, I mean, actually, you wanna go through, our specifications, we're ready to go. I mean,
Okay.
We're ready to put it on the
Yeah.
street anytime, but the issue for us, why don't you go through, there's a couple of issues, right? We have people.
Yeah, that was one of the questions that was raised to FEMA, was whether or not we actually had to have an award. by that
Awarded
date,
or just
a
out?
contract
Yeah.
awarded,
Okay.
or whether or not we were receiving the award from them by that date.
Got you, okay.
I know Doug was on a call today, so it sounds like, I had to leave before I guess the call was over, but, it sounds like that was one of the things that we did get confirmation on.
Okay,
We were
great.
waiting to see whether or not there were, federal regulations that had to be included in the bid package, but.
Prosecutors on.
So Doug is on, so maybe,
Doug is on.
Doug is on, so maybe he's finished that conversation, so we asked me, Doug, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you wanna go through the call today, just so,
Yeah. So, to clarify that, we do not have to be under contract, but what we're still trying to find out is if we have to award a contract. So I'm talking about executing the contract versus awarding the contract.
Right.
And we're still waiting on that from FEMA. They
Okay.
still haven't clarified that. And our issue with bidding the contract right now is we're trying to find out what the federal aid requirements are
Right.
to add to the specifications. So until we get that, we can't actually bid.
Yeah.
Or if we did bid, we may have to, if we then got that information, we may have to, cancel the bid and re-advertise.
Right. Yeah, so,
We did ask the questions or additional questions, and we're hoping to have them by the end of this week.
great. Yeah, so I just, we're, as you can hear, the team's all over it. It's a lot of money. We want to make sure we don't lose it. And I just want to give a shout out, Congressman Van Drew's office, Haddon specifically, has been a significant help in getting us through some of the permitting application timelines, kind of helping to escalate them and get them fast tracked at the state. Specifically, Tidelands was one of them that we were waiting for and was holding us up. So again, all hands on deck. We meet again on Monday. We talked about, as we got closer to that deadline, potentially weekly meetings just to make sure, we're staying on top of it. So we'll see how that goes, but more to come probably in our September meetings on what's happening there.
Thank you, Commissioner, for the updates. Do we have any other reports of special committees?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Bells?
Yes, at the end of this month, subcommittee of the Veterans Advisory Board, including myself, will be meeting with representatives from Senator Menendez, Senator Booker, Congressman Van Drew, Senator Palestina, and Testa to speak on some veterans issues arising here in Atlantic County and the proposed clinic.
I know you have one of your board members here, Brigadier General.
General,
Thank you for being here. Okay, any other comments or on special committees? Anybody?
Madam Chair,
Yep. Commissioner?
I want to read this really quickly from the Culture and Heritage Committee. Apply now for the 2023 Art and History Grant Funding. Free workshops available to assist. Applications for the 2023 State Arts and History Grants are now available through the Atlantic County Office of Cultural and Heritage Affairs, which granted more than 200. Hold on a second, having technology issues here. Which granted more than $218,000 to successful local nonprofit applicants in 2022 for projects that promote art and history and provide public benefit and accessibility. I'm going to sort through this. There's going to be 2 workshops, one on August 31st and the others on September 7th. The one workshop on the 31st will be the arts And the 7th will be to help facilitate anyone who's interested in doing a grant or applying for a grant in the history on the 7th. Both workshops are going to be held at 6 p.m. at the Atlantic County Library in Mays Landing. Also, registration is required for each and available on www.atlantic-county.org/cultural-affairs, where the grant applications can also be found. So other than that, you can reach out to Kim Brown, who's kbrown@aclsys.org, or by calling 609-909-7309. So any nonprofit organizations out there, let them know. I know that we gave a significant amount of money last year to Mount Zion Baptist Church to do their Juneteenth program. I know we also gave some money to the Hispanic Alliance of Atlantic County. I believe it was $10,000 grant or $5,000 grant to do their Latin festival in Atlantic City coming up this fall. So any nonprofit organizations out there, we have the same funding from the state. So do apply. The money is available.
Thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome.
Any other reports from special committees? Okay, seeing none. Any unfinished business? Okay, seeing none. Any new business? Okay, we've received copies of written communications and petitions. Any commissioner comments?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Bell?
Yes, I have two that I've been contacted on, both pertaining to Egg Harbor Township. One, Jerry, again, is any update on the lights at the firehouses?
Actually, Ally manages, is working on them. I mean, so I think the specifications, I think he's pretty much done with them. He'll go out the bid for that, but we can give you an update. I'll work with Renee and give you an email, I'll tell you where it's at specifically. But Ally is, just say, Ally was the gentleman, he's our engineers working on the Ventnor project. And I know he's got his hands full with that because we get calls every day about some issue, but it's in, it's not being done at the present time. We stopped the project for the summer months. So
right.
We wouldn't interfere with the normal traffic. So Ally's had his hands full with that, but he's working on that project. I'll give you.
So so I can just report back that it's still in process, and hopefully we'll see something come out on it. The other thing is the stretch of road on Zion Road, which is a county road, between South Mount area and North Mount area Avenue. There's it's just littered with potholes. Under the county in the past has come out with their truck and did big patches out there. But if that can get on the schedule to, it's about a quarter-mile stretch there that's really bad that needs to be addressed. I know the township had contacted, all the way back when I was still in township committee, had contacted the county to try and get something done there. And that's how the paver, that small paver truck that we have came out and did some large paving holes. But it's getting torn up pretty bad there.
Well, Greg's on, I'll have a conversation with Greg in the morning.
Okay.
Commissioner Ballas is absolutely right. I traverse that road all the time. It needs work.
Okay, do we have any other comments for the commissioners of any copies of written communications or petitions?
I've been asked if there's anything going on for 9/11, anything scheduled yet. I don't see anything on our calendar for September 11th. Remembrance or anything like that? Nothing yet?
There's internal discussions, we just haven't done anything public yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know a number of communities usually do too, so we'll have to get that information. Okay, anybody else have any written communications? Okay, we now have another distinguished guest with us today, Atlantic County Prosecutor William Reynolds, who was recently sworn in this month, having served as acting prosecutor from the beginning of June.
That's
correct, June
6th.
Oh, he's done a lot since then. For those who may not know, he formerly served as Ventnor solicitor and as municipal solicitors in numerous Atlantic County communities, also known as Wheels.
That is correct.
You can come to the podium, please.
Thank you.
First and foremost, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I have to say, it's humbling. I never in my life imagined to be in this position. Now that I'm here, it's been amazing, and there's a lot of familiar faces, a lot of people that I worked with on so many levels. I remember Commissioner Ballas back in the day in Pleasantville with Mr. Spitalnik in the back room resolving cases when I was a young buck, probably 24 years ago. But with all that being said, I am humbled by the opportunity to serve citizens of Atlantic County. It's been incredible. The journey that it took for me to get here made me evolve as a person, as a father, as a teacher, as a coach, and all of those skills that I've kind of picked up along my own journey has made me into a better leader in the office. And we've really hit the ground running. I was sworn in acting June 6th, confirmed by the Senate last Monday, which was another very humbling experience. Watching that firsthand, was actually with the Attorney General, the lead law enforcement officer of the state, with the governor's chief advisor, Mr. Kastner, who was one of my law school classmates, and Senator Palestina was there as well, who was a tireless advocate on me getting through the process, and for that I'm most thankful. One of the reasons why I wanted to appear here before the commission was after I was actually confirmed, and I have the 5-year term. I wanted to come thank you because I know there was many people that were involved that helped me along the journey on both sides of the parties, both sides of the aisle. Chairman Suleiman from the Democrat Party, excellent friend of my brother, John. Chairman Purdy and Senator Palestina, friends with my brother Tom, and my brother Tom's partner Steve Scheffler is now a judge, and Steve's brother is Eric Scheffler is the sheriff, who, as you can see, I've benefited from all these relationships on both sides of the aisle. I'm very fortunate to be here. And I don't like to take the credit myself because so many people contributed. And without those people contributing on my behalf, there would be no way that I would be standing before you in this position. And for that, I'm most grateful. My relationship with the county has been great. I've had meetings with both county council as well as the administrator. They've been tremendous to us. We're working in partnership to train our employees and our staff and our superiors in how to manage the human resources side. We know our office had challenges in the past, and we're acknowledging that. And we're learning how to fix them. We have scheduled meetings not only with the chief APs, but also superior officers, the sworn officers. And we've had budget meetings and talking about certain things of rerouting resources to community outreach, which we've done in connection with the county, and they've been tremendous. We've created positions, Director of Community Outreach, Ray Royster, Deputy Director of Community Outreach, who's coming on board in September, and a whole staff. So I reallocated my resources from the executive and put it into community outreach, because one of the things that the governor said to me is, Bill, I need you and your team to be in the community. So really what we did is we created a third arm of the organization. So we have the detective wing, we have the prosecutor wing, and the third arm is now the outreach wing. And I created another position, which was a gentleman who was in the office, Rick McKelvey, who's an attorney, who's very good. He's the executive assistant prosecutor. So he kind of oversees that third wing, and basically it gives the ability for the community to have a direct contact with our office. The reason why I'm bringing all this up and segue into why I'm here specifically is we had a grant that was discussed yesterday on the morning meeting with Chief Shields regarding Operating Helping Hand, which is Operation Helping Hand. My understanding, it's about $140,000. I met with the sheriff yesterday to discuss specifically that, because I know he was involved in the meeting as well. Operation Helping Hand is a diversionary program and funds our office. And this is another thing that I came in and I don't think anybody knew, but our office actually helps fund Hope One. And I don't think a lot of people in the public knew that, right? And I don't think they understood the relationship between the prosecutor's office and the sheriff's office and how Hope One does the community outreach and puts people in recovery. I think it was important for the public and for everybody to know that that relationship not only did exist, but now is actually flourishing between myself and Sheriff Scheffler. We're actually entering into a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with respect to his foundation, Hope Exists Foundation. And we're actually seeking additional funding through both state and federal grants. And our vision, which we met about yesterday, and going forward, which we're actually seeking help on going forward, is basically a 7-day-a-week mobile outreach unit, which is going to be essentially like a Sprinter van with a recovery specialist, a licensed clinical social worker, as well as a sworn officer who's going to have, obviously be armed, in case there's any issues, which I think are a requirement. Also, a driver, which is going to be an outreach member, which they're going to have an iPad that's going to directly connect them to social services and mental health care evaluations through Atlantic Care. So we've basically formed a relationship between the Sheriff's Office, Jewish Family Services, Atlantic Care, and our office, and we're going to put all those people on an outreach van. And that outreach van, the vision is 7 days a week and 2 nights a week on the weekends. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's going to be so successful. We did exactly this during the NAACP convention, and in 6 days we put over 35 people into treatment and got more than like 3 more dozen just medical care, which is like basic. You know, it's what Vinny from Atlantic Care talks about at all the outreach events. Like, hey, go to the doctor. We'll get you to the Atlantic Care. We'll get you to an urgent care. Like, you know, get you a haircut, get you a shave. You know, they had a shower trailer the other day at the community health fair. There was 20 people that took showers, got shaves, haircuts, and new clothes. Right. So if you have that vehicle on the street 7 days a week, it's going to give people the opportunity to say yes to those services with respect. It's an entry point, giving them dignity, courtesy, and respect and empathy to treat them. And then after maybe you give them a meal and a shower, maybe they might be more apt to accept the help as opposed to just walking and saying, hey, get up and you have to go. The other thing that this operation Helping Hands has opened my eyes to is transportation, the need for transportation. Last year, they spent over $35,000 on transportation, taking people from either Atlantic City or Pleasantville to treatment, right? That was directly from Hope One, and our office was subsidizing that. It was an eye-opening fact that came to me. I'm like, we paid $35,000 for transportation. Like, we could buy a vehicle for $35,000 and actually do it. So we're like kind of reshuffling the deck and figuring out what's the best way to serve the public. This 7 day a week outreach, I think, would be significant and would be a partnership of all these different organizations. We're attacking that from both a state and federal level before we ever come to the county. And I know you like that, Jared, right? So with all that being said, one of the most amazing parts of this job is just the people that I've interacted with, and on all levels, both at the municipal level, county level, and now the state level. And I've had some federal meetings, and the reception has been so tremendous that I can't believe it. And everybody's like really on board to help. So we have this great momentum. And if I pick up the phone and call you, I'm going to ask you for help in certain situations. And sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no, sometimes it's partially yes, but we have such a vested interest in the community of doing the right thing going forward. And we've kind of changed the game how the office is being handled. And I'll give you an example. I asked for help to walk around Atlantic City to look at the lights. I had 40 people from our office show up at 9:15 on a Wednesday night at Starbucks. And we walked Atlantic Avenue from the walk down to the county building and back. We identified areas where we needed lighting, right? Simple things like that, basic things like lighting. Another very simple thing, Friday before the concert, sent out an email. JFS invited me to do a boardwalk sweep. I sent out an email. I had 30 people from my office at 5:45 a.m. on the boardwalk at Arkansas Avenue. And what did we do? We walked, half the team went right, half the team went left, and we actually interacted with people. We treated them with dignity and respect, and we got some people medical treatment. We got some people recovery. One person actually Narcan. They treated them on the scene, and after a half hour, they agreed to go to recovery. But I was there, and I saw it, I felt it, and I touched it, and I was there, and I'll tell you, it gave me the best ability to understand how can we help. And after I did that, I called Eric Scheffler up on my ride back to actually go meet with the city of Atlantic City and Councilman Shabazz, and I said, we need a 7 day a week outreach. This can't be just once in a while, because the people are willing to accept help. They have to be engaged and have to trust you and have to recognize your face and actually hear your voice. And the JFS people were tremendous, and I watched them. But if we had a team on the street every day, the consistency would definitely give a better opportunity for those people to receive help. And that's our goal, right? Our goal is to help them. Our goal is not to punish them. Our goal is not to incarcerate them. Our goal is to help them and make them productive members of our society and our community. So really to land it for you is, part of my job has to be to help people. Part of my job is to manage that office, which is 185 people. It's a law firm and a police department. Jim knows, not an easy task. And the other half is to actually prosecute crimes, right? So like the last few days, we've had some really disturbing things. And I actually was just posting some of our press releases, but you know, the most aggressive and most productive part of our office right now is the crimes against children. And it's internet crimes against children. They just created a unit literally in the last few months, and it's our busiest unit. And literally last week we had 16 new cases from there. And we have a portal that we respond to tips and inquiries. And then we have and I'm sure everybody saw it, we have vigilantes run around Atlantic City, and they're doing their own research. And then the Atlantic City Police Department is trying to play catch up, and we're trying to play catch up. But we're literally arresting people by the dozens. And what they're doing is they're using the social media platforms, specifically Snapchat, one, because the messages disappear, and then other encrypted communication apps like WhatsApp and Kik. And they're actually communicating with our children. And some of the cases that I just dealt with the last few days, the children are the same age as my kids. They're 13 years old, right? It's very disturbing. So, you know, the reality of the situation is, how are we going to be able to protect our children and do that? Well, we need the whole community, right? And we need to show that, number one, that we care about everybody, right? And I think it's a philosophy across the board. If we get everybody on board to believe that, hey, we're in it for everybody, and now our most vulnerable are women, our children, and people who can't defend themselves.
Yeah, I think they're gonna come to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, nice to get up today. We're coming to get you.
I wasn't, me too.
Sorry, shaking. Yeah.
Well, thought somebody was on the bed.
Lock that thing in like that one.
Got it. But, you know, really how I want to end is this is probably one of the most rewarding jobs an attorney in Atlantic County could ever have, being from here, growing up here, being educated here, raising my kids here, coaching in this county, coaching so many kids from different towns and different leagues, and traveling all over the place for my job, being a municipal prosecutor in a bunch of towns, and then being a solicitor in a few towns. I have relationships everywhere, and those relationships have really benefited not only myself, but the organization and the office. And I'm so humbled to have the opportunity. And I have to tell you, you know, to really sum it all up, is that I love doing the job, and it's being of service to the community. And if I can help someone, and even if it's just one person heard me today talk about Snapchat and they take the Snapchat off their child's phone, that's a win.
Yeah.
Right. So anytime I've been asked to go somewhere or do something, we show up. I mean, I did 5 events on Friday. Right. And then I still got my kids to where they needed to go. They played lacrosse. I watched them, right. Took them home, made them dinner. I did it all in the same day, right. All with 5 events going on. And it's a work-life balance. But I think from a perspective of having the opportunity to do this job and protect our citizens and to do the right thing, this is the best job an attorney from Atlantic County could ever have. For that, I'm so thankful. And thank you for the opportunity to come before you.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you did. But I'm impressed mostly not just by your energy, and you're out there everywhere, but the partnerships that you've created between the municipalities. You're utilizing our county court system, and you're working with people. That is extremely impressive, outside of the heart that you're putting into all that. So
I appreciate it. And one of the things I actually didn't touch on was the Atlantic City Police Department and I forged this awesome relationship. There's a sergeant by the name of Brian Shapiro who's incredible, and he does this at-risk initiative. And we identified all these people that were basically floating around during COVID, committing low-level quality of life crimes. And what we did is we identified them. We had Jewish Family Services engage them like literally dozens of times and gave them all these opportunities. And then what transpired is literally a month ago, we put together a list with the help of the court, the county court, Judge Blee, the trial court administrator, Howard Berchtold, his assistant, Jill Houck, as well as Judge Belasco, who's the presiding municipal judge. And we put together this list, and out of the list of 43, 33 had Superior Court matters. So every time those people were picked up, they were detained and they were given an opportunity for services. And that's where we are right now. And some of them that had open charges weren't indicted yet, are going to be indicted before August 26th. And we have a court date with Judge Delory. So all those people have indictable, those 33 people are going to have the opportunity at that moment, those people are going to have that moment to make the decision if they want help or not. And that's going to be a final decision because they have so many cases pending.
Yeah, and with what you're doing too, with the, working with the municipalities themselves.
Excuse us.
Is that a first time?
But, I was gonna say how the municipalities have welcomed this, even if sometimes they get home rule, but we're not seeing that at all. And I know you've done a lot in Atlantic City, and you also plan to reach out to any community that feels that, they need and want to be a part of some of the things that you're doing.
I've met with every single chief of police in monthly meetings. I've been to every one that they've had so far, and then I've had individual meetings with people who have had issues. Some of the issues I don't know that the public knows that the county prosecutor deals with. We deal with every internal affairs investigation, and we also deal with if someone is returning to work, whether they're able to be rearmed or not. So all of that falls on me. They don't actually tell you before you take the job that that's a responsibility. It's not the funnest part of the job, but all of those things. And so not only does the officer deserve a response, but the police department deserves a response, but the public deserves a response because that person is in a position of public trust. And the question becomes, should they be able to go back to work and get their actual, gun back, right? So that is something that requires an efficient, prompt response because a small department could be down a person, a patrol officer or a sergeant that could really disable them. So I made a promise to all the chiefs. I'm going to have you an answer in 24 to 36 hours. And I've done it every single time, right? Because that they're calling me for help, right? So I'm here to help them. And it opened the lines of communication and it's so important, but that one decision could affect an entire community. And quite frankly, it's a great responsibility and the gravity of the decision isn't lost on me, but it's one of the things that I don't think anybody has any conception of like what actually goes on behind the scenes, and that falls under the guise of being of service to the public. And that's where I enjoy the job and I enjoy being in the position to help people. And you have an opportunity in every case to help someone, whether it's the victim, the defendant, the officer, the court, right? The prosecutor who works for me or the municipal prosecutor. So there's been a lot of opportunity and I enjoy it. And, to really, just end, I've never imagined being in this position. Now that I'm here, I can't imagine doing something else, right? It's incredible.
Do you have any comments from our commissioners?
Bill, I want to thank you for being here today and everything that you've accomplished in such a short time. And I know you mentioned that our kids are the same age. You mentioned the children online, and that's definitely multiplied since COVID, since they were on. I talked when I'm in school every day about that. That's what we do with our character education. Sometimes they don't believe me. I'll pull up articles. Are there talks to be able to go into the schools to educate students? Because maybe they'll believe, now I'm just an old teacher. My son's going to be in my building this year. I think coming from your office, that they have a little more weight.
Yes, and we actually have programs already set up. Ray Royster's our director of community outreach. Tom Finan, who's a lieutenant in the office, who's actually from originally Brigantine guy in Absecon now. He actually used to do it. Ray took it over last year, but we're putting together a more voluminous and because all this is new and right with Snapchat, this is new, right? So
yeah, there's an online game, a Discord,
right? So one of the things that happens, they use a game and they talk through the game to the kids, right? So they log on as if there's another child and then they actually talk through the game. And then some of the apps like Snapchat, the messages, if they use the text portion, it stays. But if they actually just use the Snapchat, it disappears, right? So what the real message is, parents, grandparents, and uncles be present in the child's life, know what's on the phone. Because there's a lot of people out there that are not up to good, right? And I'm seeing it every day. And October is the month for like child abuse awareness, and we're all over it. It's coming. So we're doing everything in our power to protect our children and our community. And I got to tell you what I've learned in the last few weeks, because it was one of the areas I wanted to delve into right away, because I don't think there's enough education about it.
It's scary, honestly.
Very scary.
As a parent and an educator, I see 100 students every year, and they're my kids.
Right. And obviously with my children being the same age, they get in the car after hockey practice last night and the prospects, I'm like, get off of Snapchat. Give me your phone. Who's on your Snapchat, right? Because I'm seeing it every single day. Yeah, and it's you know, it's one of those things where it's very disturbing to see how they're doing it and how it's happening. And the more I see and the more I read, like I'm understanding the process more. But I got to tell you, as a parent, you know, be present in your child's life because it's a serious threat. I think so. Thank you,
Madam Chair. I just like to say this, and I think I speak for all of us. We really, really, really deeply appreciate what you're doing. And the fresh approach and the strong approach and your energy behind this, I'm just so happy with what you're doing. And I know all of us feel the same way.
Thank you.
We
I
really
appreciate
do.
it.
So thank you.
I just look at it as an opportunity, right? So in your wildest dreams, you think, hey, could I ever get that job? No shot, right? And then I get there and it's like, okay, not only, and I say this with all due respect to my parents, the beginning of my life was to make my parents proud. Well, the back end of my life was to make my children proud, right? So, you know, and then I had all these people support me from both sides of the aisle, right? Up and down. I mean, today's Governor Murphy's birthday. I was texting with him all morning, right? Like, I'm so humbled by this guy's responding to me. Like, he's responding to me, Bill Reynolds from Brighington, right? And know what he's saying? All my love to Team Reynolds, right? That's one of his responses, right? So, but the truth of the matter is, so many people supported me, right? Both my family and different stakeholders in the community and community groups and different, you know, people in both parties, right? I mean, what's the odds of the Republican Party chairman and the Democratic Party chairman supporting the same person, right? It's really humbling. But I also have an obligation not only to the community, but all the people that supported me. If I get sideways in this job, I make a lot of people really look bad, including my own family, and it would be embarrassment to my children, right? So I wake up every day and I'm really hungry to go to work because I have a lot to prove to a lot of people that I belong here, right? Because I grew up in Brighington. I deliver pizzas at Primo Pizza. Ernie used to come into my brother and I's pizza shop and sit down and talk to us and have lunch, right? I mean,
Nothing like a Gucci Brothers pizza.
that's right, right? But in the grand scheme of things, you know, Ernie went to high school with my brothers. Like, I have relationships with just about everybody all over the place
But
between
you
my
still
family.
older than us, so it's all right.
Amen. I'm 10 years younger, but he's got it. But in that respect, like I get placed into this job and then I wake up every day and I'm hungry to go to work because there's a lot of people that are relying upon me. And my children, for me, my biggest asset and my biggest legacy is gonna be my children. So I have to show to them what's the right way to conduct yourself at the highest level and treat people with respect. Right. And I'll leave you with this, and it's great because I never imagined that I'd hear this. So there's women that work in central records in the prosecutor's office. Most of them have been there more than 20 years. There's one woman from Atlantic City who's been there over 40 years, and another woman from Galway's been there over 30 years. So I'm meeting with every single person in the office, one-on-one with my first assistant and my secretary. So Mr. Ferguson came and we were talking about it. He goes, I don't think everybody's ever done this before. So Mr. Bergman's been there 20 years. He's like, no one's ever done this before. So now I'm meeting with all the staff. I already finished the lawyers. Now I'm doing the clerical and the agents now. So I finished the clerical. A couple of the clerks come in and we're doing them, you know, every 15, 20 minutes. And it was 3 in a row said, Mr. Reynolds, you are the first person that's been a prosecutor to ever meet with us, number one, ever give us alone time, number 2, and ever step foot in the Central Records. I stop in Central Records almost every day to say, good morning, ladies, how you doing? Before I get on the elevator, right? And that made a difference in their life and their job, and they don't want to leave. They were getting ready to punch the ticket and leave, and they're like, we're not leaving. We love it now. This is great, right? So to hear that is so humbling because here people, regardless of what the station is in the organization is, they believe in me simply because I stopped in and said hello.
It's amazing too.
Right. And you know how great that makes me feel?
Yeah.
Right? Like and having the relationships with all those people. I know who they are, where they live, where they went to high school, how old their kids are. I'm talking to them about life, right? And that to me, that's the most rewarding part of the job. And that's, you know, attaching that emotional attachment to the office and saying, hey, like, I'm going to enjoy the employees that work here for as long as I'm here because we're all part of the team, regardless of where you are, top or bottom, we're all together, right? The only way we're going to win as a team is everybody needs to be firing on all cylinders. So, but thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Bellis.
Yeah, first of all, Mr. Prosecutor, just want to publicly congratulate you.
Thank you.
Awesome. You've done a great job. With the initiatives in Atlantic City and, you know, throughout Atlantic County, you know, law enforcement community has always known that there's no way in the world we'd ever be able to lock up people to cure the epidemic. So with this approach that you're doing now with the treatment, drug courts took that one little step, but actually being out there in the community, on the street, hands-on, it goes a long way. And, I think everyone should support that, assigning a prosecutor to each municipality, to have that relationship.
Yep, just did
where
it.
they can pick up the phone
Just did it.
and call. Yeah, exactly. From what I hear from, my contacts in law enforcement, it's, that's gone a long, long way. Never happened before. The programs you have are great. And then talking about, with the Snapchat and, with the Coalition for Safe Community, we had people from the prosecutor's office come out and teach kids, but also parents came out. And you don't really have to teach the children too much about the Snapchat and all the WhatsApp and all these other ones and how to hide your app on your phone in plain sight. You need to teach the parents.
Yep.
The parents are the ones that really need to know what to look for, because, they can look at the phone and be looking right at something and have no idea what it is. But that child knows, and that child knows how to hide that app inside the other app. I had no idea until I heard it from guys from your office. Well, I guess it was House's office back then.
Yeah.
But the knowledge that your guys have in there of this stuff, and to be able to get that out to the public is paramount. So the more community outreach, the more community outreach is the best thing that can happen.
So we met with the FBI yesterday on exactly that. They're doing community outreach on financial crimes, especially against elders. They're doing one in Brigantine August 25th. And we're going to piggyback off that with them on the social media teaching to parents, which is exactly what we were talking about.
Exactly.
So our SVU chief is John Flammer. He's incredible. He's a Port Republic guy. He's lieutenant colonel in the JAG. He's going to be a full bird soon. Guy is aces. And that was one of the things I brought him in yesterday. I said, hey, John, I said, we need to teach the parents exactly that, because the FBI were like, hey, they're actually going out doing preventative, teaching, because like there was one case in Brigantine where a guy got $5.1 million taken off and was like a romance scheme, right? So we're going out to actually teach people. So it's going to be both sides, the financial crimes and the social media, and that's 100% is proactive. And I think that's one of the things why I kind of allocated resources towards the outreach, saying I really don't want anything for the executive. I want it for the outreach, because I know that's the most important part. And it was what Governor Murphy said to me, is what the Attorney General said to me. The Attorney General actually said to me at one point, he's like, listen, the job's not what it was 20 years ago. You got to be out and about. Is that what you want to do? I'm like, listen, if you haven't figured it out. And he goes, I've heard all about it. I just want to make sure that's what it is. I'm like, that's it. Like, we have to be out and about and actually interact with people and communicate with them, And what it really comes down to is educating the public on those things. That's
Exactly. Like they say, an ounce of prevention's worth more than a pound of the cure.
Yep. Amen. Amen. I don't want to take any more of your guys' time. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I won't talk. Jim knows, he's been in meetings with me. Yeah.
I just wanted to formally congratulate you. And this is the first time we're actually meeting in public, which
Yes.
I've been in elected office since 2008. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that I haven't run into you as a municipal prosecutor.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw you in Rafichi's.
okay, I think I'm gonna take it as a good thing though. But no, I've heard wonderful things about you. I've been impressed since you've been in office in the few short weeks that you've been. It astonishes me how much you respond to email so quickly. Which I think says something about you as well.
Believe it or not, I learned that piece from Governor Murphy.
Mm.
I met him back in 2016 with my brother, and when I would text him or email him, he responded within a half hour every time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if that guy can respond, I can respond.
Yeah.
Right, because he had that respect for me, and we were just regular guys. Right?
And it's just on the smallest things, and that's appreciated and noticed. And you mentioned Ray Royster.
Yes.
He's such an incredible guy. I'm glad to hear he's going to be doing the outreach. We're really looking forward to the Child Advocacy Center coming online soon. It's something, we've supported through the years. So
Can I interject on that?
Sure.
We had a meeting on that today
Great.
to see what that would look like. So for everybody that doesn't know, it's called CAC, Child Advocacy Center. It was a labor of love for Ray. He spent a lot of time and a lot of money in there.
Yes.
It's located over on the Black Horse Pike here in Egg Harbor Township. It's a suite that's part of a general public entry building. The only issue, and I was actually gonna send Jim an email on it, is we can't get internet there. And without internet, we can't open.
Yeah.
And we've been paying rent for like 8 months and electric, and we got our CO now, and we can't get in, so we need help with Comcast. So we have to figure out how we do that. But that is gonna be exactly along the lines of what we were talking about, the SVU cases. It's gonna be a special place to take children if they're a victim of a crime or witness to a crime, where they're not in a threatening, adversarial, place where they can come in, the parents can be there, they can go into a room, there's TV, they can be interviewed, and then all the professionals and people that need to see the interview can be in another room. There's not going to be other criminal defendants, there won't be officers with guns there. It's a much more friendly, inviting place for a child to be interviewed or interrogated or, ask questions or whatever. So a lot of counties in the state have it. We worked very hard to get it up. Ray gave me a tour. Our only snafu is now the internet with Comcast. So.
Yeah, I was with Ray when I was on the township committee in Hamilton. He had reached out when he started that journey to try to find a location there, and that's how I met him with that. And I think it's really great work. I'm really excited for it. And like I said, you've come in with gusto, and I think it's what we need. And Commissioner Risley said the fresh approach to a number of things. I'm really looking forward to it, and I feel like you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Please know that we're behind you. And we support you, and we're here for whatever we can do to support your initiatives.
I appreciate it, and I'm not a great story. I'm not a golfer, right, at all. I was at a golf tournament at Seaview for my father had MS, right. So my brother was Rip, who's went to high school with Ernie, Commissioner, of course, excuse me, was the MS ugly bartender for the Circle and Brigantine. And he raised like $50,000 in the summer for MS. My dad had MS, my aunt had MS, and it was, to the heart. So we're at this golf tournament, and I stink, right? And I gave up golf when my kids started playing ice hockey. But I'm there, and it's myself, 2 of my brothers, and Steve Scheffler, who now is the judge. And I'm actually like 50 feet away from the hole, and he's talking every single thing you can imagine, saying there's no way you can hit it. And I said, I'll bet you $1 American because I snack on pressure, and I hit it. And it was the only putt I hit the whole day.
Oh my God.
So I need the pressure on myself. It's the only way I perform. That's it, right? That's it. If I put the pressure on myself, I perform. If I don't put the pressure on myself, I lay down. I'm like, I'll get to it later. So I'm that guy. I have to be that guy. And I need to show my children, like, hey, when the time comes for you to answer the bell, you have to answer the bell, because if not, the bell may not ring for you the next time.
Yeah.
Right. And that's life. And that's when Governor Murphy returns my phone call, I answer the phone call. Yeah. Right. And that's it. And at the end of the day, for me, that's a role model for not only my children, but for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 2 quick points I wanted to mention. Our women's advisory committee, they're very passionate about the topic of human trafficking, and have, I think, worked to try to find a place where they could be of some additional value in that effort across the county. So if there's ever anything that you can think of that commission could support, I think.
Do you know
just put
Danielle
that on your
Buckley? Do
radar.
you know Danielle
Of course,
Buckley?
yeah.
All right. So Danielle Buckley, Harvey Kesselman's daughter,
Yeah.
she is retired from the county prosecutor's office now. That's near and dear to her heart. She's actually going to be giving presentations on that.
Yeah.
One was at ACC recently. Danielle and I have become friends through my journey. I can set Danielle up with that. She can be our liaison, and we can have we can do a symposium on that. And we have one coming in November 1st with the Attorney General, and I believe the governor's going to come. That's going to be in Lang City with Councilman Shabazz. That's going to be combating bias and hate as well. So we're actually going to think about tying that into that as well, because we're doing 6 separate panels.
She is a wealth of
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
information.
she is.
I had gotten
Yeah.
so much information from her when, just finding out a little bit more. And I know that Commissioner Ballas was there, it was a number of years ago in Pleasantville. They had given a presentation, and they tied me in with Ms. Buckley, and she's phenomenal. I mean, the amount of information she gives you that we can, go on and give out to the community is,
Yes.
she's very committed.
Yeah, and then just the one other, our LACADA, which is our, I always forget the whole acronym, but it's Alcohol and Drug Abuse Commission.
Okay.
There's a lot of, and I'm sure many of them are probably already roped in with a lot of the Hope One related programs, but there's a lot of good resources on that group. Again, always looking for a way to get engaged with the community.
Sure.
And particularly, you mentioned the video games. We also have somebody from 1-800-GAMBLER on there. And years ago, he had talked about the growth of addiction to video games and the crimes that come out of, being on and talking through the game and things like that. So again, I think if there's another kind of group of people that, I don't know how we
Yeah.
harvest them and support,
Put
but
me on an email group
Yeah.
and I'll get it to the right people in my
Great.
office.
Okay, great.
Loop you in.
Awesome. Thank
So I
you.
don't know if you saw it on Netflix, there was just a thing where a father abducted his son at 5 years old from Texas, moved to Louisiana, and said he was homeschooling, never did, and the kid was on a video game for like 12 years.
Mm.
And then him and the father got in a fight, and the father came into his room, and kid shot the father.
Mm.
Right, it was all based on the kid's only reality was a video game, right? For 12 years, from 5 years old to 7 years
Yeah.
old, right? So that's the thing, is that when kids are placed in that environment and that's all they know and all they see, they actually believe that that's reality. Thought the only way you could solve the problem was to shoot them. Right, so definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real quick,
Yes,
I just want to say, we've met a couple of times.
Yes.
The task force in Atlantic City.
Yes.
And your enthusiasm is contagious. And that's how you get 30 and 40 people to come out before and after work. They want to help. And now they have somebody showing them how to help and giving them an opportunity. And that's priceless. Thank you.
Rose, thank you. I appreciate it. And it's humbling when you see all those people show up, because I send an email, I'm like, I have 5 or 6 will show. And there's like 30 there for the second morning. I'm like, now here we go. So, and the other thing on that note too is I just talked to Jeff Wilson from JFS. We're going to do a sweep every single Friday for the rest of the year until it's too cold out. So I said, listen, we can't do this. It can't be a one-off, right? We got to do it. I'm like, so we'll send it out and see if, see who will come. And again, to give credit to the Lansing Police Department, there's a couple outreach officers that are absolute studs. Like they get it. They're out there. They're on their hands and knees. We're literally picking people up, looking them in the eyes, and they're getting on their knee and looking. And it's so important to be on their level. It's like coaching kids, like getting down at their level and looking them in the eye and getting them to engage. Because if you're just yelling at someone down, they're not getting up. Or you're down on the ground with them, talking to them. The 3 outreach officers were incredible. They really were. And then the JFS people. So it was JFS first, then the officers second. And then we were kind of behind for support. And then I would go over on side and start talking to them and actually seeing their responses. And one guy only spoke Spanish. We got a Spanish speaking person from JFS to come over. And literally in 3 minutes, that guy went from saying, leave me alone, to agreeing to go into treatment in 3 minutes, right? And it was just the fact that we were all there and there's a couple of people standing around. I sat on the bench next to them, like, hey man, we're just here to help, right? And that goes such a long way, and that's such a rewarding thing. And when everybody was there and saw it, then everybody was like, hey, we should do this again. This was great, So, but listen, thank you all for the opportunity. I appreciate it and look forward to working with you. Thank you for the grants. I know there's gonna be other times we're gonna come before you, and I wanted to wait till I was confirmed, and 2, I wanted to wait till I actually had something on the agenda, because I wanted to be relevant to what was going on that day and not just show up and say hi. So thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll now open to the public comment portion. Anyone in person that would like to speak during the public comment, please come to the podium. State your name, the town you reside. You'll be provided up to 3 minutes to speak. If you're attending virtually, please type yes in the question and answer box. You'll be raised from an attendee to a panelist. When again, you're raised, you'll state your name and the town that you reside. So if anybody would like to come forward.
Good afternoon, by the way.
Good afternoon.
I'm Doug Satterfield from Galloway Township, just right up the road here. Of course, you know where that is. I'm fairly new to the area, so I'm still getting used to it. I want to thank the commissioners and staff and administrators within the county for what you guys do for the county and for your courage to help our communities to be a better place to live, work, and raise our families. And I think that's pretty darn important. The police have an ethos, and of course that's to protect and serve, and you're part of that as well, and that's a great noble goal, and thank you for being part of that as well. You don't get thanked very often. I like to bring a positive message, I guess is what I'm going to try to say. As for me, the reason I didn't live here, because I spent most of my life actually kind of roaming the world a little bit. Thanks to Uncle Sam, I spent about a third of my life overseas, adult life overseas. And in part, one of the things I learned from that is America's a pretty darn good place. So it's a pretty good place to be. In fact, we're a beacon of hope. And I think, we'll continue being that at least into the next century. And that's really good. We stand for good. We stand for the little guy. We like to help people no matter what, the downtrodden. We want to pull them up. We believe in our faith. We want to hold it close. We like our families. We do anything for them. We also adore our communities tremendously, and of course that's why I'm happy to say I'm from Galloway, because that's my community, and I want to do that. We believe in life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for the individuals, and no other peoples in the world do it like we do. I say that because I've been there, so I've seen it. And so what I'm here today to do is I want to personally ask you for help. I'm not asking for any money from the county. Okay, so be real clear about that up first. I want to invite anybody that's here there's an upcoming gala that's going to be happening at the end of October. The funds are going to be used to help some of the needy people within the county. It's a sonogram mobile van and with some medical personnel that will travel throughout the county to help, primarily focused on young pregnant women. It's not cheap or easy to do that sort of thing. They're not asking for any government money whatsoever. They're trying to raise the funds privately. The name of the organization is Guardian Angels for Life. It's an Atlantic County Right to Life organization. And because they're helping the people who are needy and helping primarily pregnant young women, we don't think it's a partisan or political issue. It's open. They're open to everybody. And what I'd like to do is, if you could, out of your busy schedule, I know you got a busy schedule because you all have other jobs. I actually have a handout, and if you don't mind, you're the guy that does all that.
I am now, sir.
You are there. Okay, great. If you could be there, I'd greatly appreciate it. We'd like to I would personally recognize you if you come to that. I plan to be there. My wife promises she will dress up. I don't know about me. But anyway, I just hope you can help. Thanks for whatever you can do. And thank you very much for what you do for our community. Very much. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
let me ask you a question.
Oh, certainly.
You're not from Galloway. Where were you from?
I grew up in the Deep South. Pretty much from Georgia across to all the way Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and a little bit in the Midwest, Missouri, Illinois. So I worked on the railroad for a little bit before I joined the Army. And then I lived in California and some other places.
So how long have you been in Galloway?
I've lived here, and this December it'd be 6 years.
You came from down south, up south.
That's one way to look at it. Although the last place to live before I came here, I actually lived in Brooklyn, New York.
You got that accent.
And my wife's from Brooklyn and she's Italian, right? So it's a clash of accents in my family.
You used to sound like me?
Huh?
You used to sound like me?
Oh, God, no.
I grew up in Galloway.
No. I learned, when I was in New York City, people would ask, where are you from? I go, New York. They go, you're lying. No, I can't talk like the Staten Island folks. Thank you, though.
Thank you
Any
so
other
much.
questions?
No, thanks for bringing
Hey,
it.
great. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, would anybody else like to come forward? Please state your name and the town you reside.
Hello, I'm Joshua Smith from Galloway Township.
Galloway's in the house.
Yeah, Galloway's in the house today. Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak this afternoon. Let me start off by saying that I support the Second Amendment and I own a firearm. But I also support common sense firearm safety regulations. Gun safety and gun violence prevention are not synonymous with taking away guns. That's a lie perpetuated by the NRA. 337. Do you know what that number represents, Commissioner Corsi and the other commissioners that voted yes to resolution number 123 that was passed in 2020? It represents the amount of mass shootings that we had in the United States this year. At a time when we need common sense gun control, you're supporting an organization that is fighting to allow more firearms on our streets. The gun advocacy group you have chosen to support believes proper gun storage, gun licensing, registration, and background checks are unconstitutional. They are fighting to have relaxed gun laws in New Jersey. These types of dangerous views allowed an individual to purchase a high-powered weapon and ammunition with just a driver's license and use it to murder our children in the United States. And it's not that it's not in our community, because a student right here in our community was found carrying a magazine with live ammunition at a school function this past year. And that goes to show you how important it is to have proper firearm storage, that keep this stuff out of children's arms or hands. The people involved in these events will forever carry that psychological trauma with them. I am requesting you rescind the politically symbolic resolution number 123 passed on March 3rd, 2020, deeming Atlantic County a Second Amendment sanctuary county, and rescind your support of the fringe group Garden State 2A grassroots organization. Prove to our community that you do not value guns over people. Why do you believe the Second Amendment of the Constitution is more important than the other 26 amendments of the Constitution? You swore an oath to protect the entirety of the Constitution, not a single amendment. Now, since a vote has taken place on federal issues in this chamber, I'd like to discuss another pressing matter. Do you know how difficult it was to watch my daughter crippled in extreme pain for 2 weeks out of a month? The only thing that helps her with that pain is taking contraceptives. It helps regulate her body. And now they are trying to take that away, our representative right here in South Jersey. I believe it is imperative we show support for women in our community, because our representative, Congressman Jeff Van Drew, is actively seeking to regulate women's bodies, not allow me to do it, and her doctor. He has recently voted no to codify the only medication that helps my daughter. I am presenting you with a resolution to show your support for my daughter and women in our community by making Atlantic County a women's reproductive rights sanctuary county. It can be another symbolic resolution like the resolution you passed in 2020, 123, deeming Atlantic County a Second Amendment sanctuary county. As our representatives, please show your support for women in our county on this very important issue. I urge you to stand beside women in solidarity with them while we continue to fight this injustice. My daughter and women will not become second-class citizens. They will not be silenced, and I will continue to fight for their rights. I truly hope you do not value guns over women. I look forward to your support on this matter. And with that, in your leisure, I have the resolution that got typed up. Thank you for your time. I hope you guys have a great night.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
You prepared a resolution?
Yes, sir.
You attorney?
No, sir. So you
So there's something you want us to take a look at?
I would love you to take a look at it
because
and have your support on
I
it.
consider it real.
I would love you to take a look at it.
And let me also correct you. I do support the Second Amendment right, as you know. And I also support a women's right to choose. This body, we can, Commissioner Fitzpatrick, we put a resolution up.
Okay.
And it was tabled. So
Okay.
At the end of the day, I don't think that, I'm not saying you accuse any of us.
Okay.
I don't think it's an accurate statement saying that we're not standing up for women.
Okay.
I have a wife, I have a mother, I have a sister. I get it. I support a woman's right to choose too.
So the reason why your name came up, I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, you're done.
My name always come up first for some reason. I'm the target and I like that. No, I'm the first one here, so I guess they figured out. But I hear you loud and clear. I'm sure our attorney will look at what you propose. If it's something the governing body wants to support, I don't have a problem with it. I don't.
Yeah, I was reviewing just
But I want to be clear. It should not be, when we talk in terms, we're not talking of a women's right to choose. It ought not to be Democrat or Republican.
Absolutely.
It ought to be right and wrong.
Absolutely.
It's always easy to do the right thing. And so too many times we all get caught up with this, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the no independent party, whoever party. At the end of the day, listen, you got to look out for your daughter, your wife, and listen, I don't have any daughters, thank God. But at the end of the day, the point is that who the hell are we to make that decision? Right?
Absolutely.
But it started in Washington. So there's a lot of pointing the fingers. Because we point the finger doesn't mean it's right. Question is, what do you do to cut it correct? So I'm glad you called my name first because I was waiting to see what else you was going to say because you didn't go to what's this guy named Parker, because he's not in, he's on the TV. You didn't go to Karen, you didn't go to, you should have went to Dallas first, right? And then come to Corsi, but it's okay.
When I was looking at the
You
resolution.
should have went ABC.
Okay.
You would have got balance first, but it's okay. But
I got you.
appreciate you coming out.
Your name was actually under the resolution number 123, right on the docket.
I'm sure it was.
Sponsored.
It's
So,
sponsored.
and that's why I brought that
I
up.
just wanted to mess with
You're good.
Appreciate you coming out.
Are there any other questions or? No.
Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Would anybody else like to? Would anybody else like to come forward and address the commissioner? Seeing none? Okay. Do you have any comments for the good of the order?
What are you, retired? So why are you here?
You didn't have anything to do tonight. Leave alone.
Don't badger the
It's been,
court.
it's been a long time. Been a long time. Good seeing you.
Madam Chair, for good of the order.
Yeah, Madam Chair, good of the order.
Myself and Andrew.
No. Parker, Commissioner Parker?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that the food distributions are still going on. From my conversations with Tim Reed from the Sheriff's Department, it's even a greater demand for it now than it was, a greater need for it now than it was during the height of the pandemic because of the economy and inflation. So people are more in need of food now. So the next one will be on September 2nd in Hamilton from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's on Mount Carmel Lane. And the next one after that will be in Mispa, September 9th, 6892 Sewell Road. So we could use any help or assistance out there. Just have plenty of food. The food's coming in, and just organizing the food and getting it out to the people that need it. I've also managed to set up, working on setting up our lodge over here on Washington Avenue as a distribution center, so that what I've been doing is going out to Mispa, going out to Hamilton, and taking a truckload and bringing it back to the lodge, and then doing another distribution out there in Egg Harbor Township, Pleasantville border. But we're working on now with the Sheriff's Department, just having that building listed as a distribution center, so they will deliver the food over there, and then we can help that local community out as well. And I guess the only other update I have, well, two other updates over in Egg Harbor Township. I know we were marginally involved in this. The Muslim cemetery on that same road, Washington Avenue, over in Wilberforce, in that same area by the old press building, is going well. Construction on that building is going well. So I just want to give an update on that. That seems to be in order. And the last thing is, if anyone ever rides back by Alder Avenue, the McKee City Park in Egg Harbor Township is in progress. If you go over there, they bulldozed that land. They cleared a lot of that land already. So that, for those who don't know who, we're going to be commemorating Colonel McKee, who was a Civil War hero, and also at the time of his death, I believe in 1902, he was the largest Black landowner in this country, and that's where McKee City got his name, received his name. So they're doing a park over there in Egg Harbor Township. I'm trying to see if we can get some of Parks and Environment from the county to kind of help out on maybe like a shared services project over there, because we have so much from June Sheridan that she has from Colonel McKee, like actual documents, deeds, original deeds from some of his properties. She may even have a piece of his original will, things that need to be preserved. So I'm trying to see if we can maybe help out in terms of our grants from the county to maybe help just preserve the property. And so if anyone wants to take a look and go over there, that's also in progress. So all good news, good things.
Thank you, Commissioner, and you're right about the food, distributions, because we were at Pleasantville's council meeting, Commissioner Risley and myself last night, and they were talking about one that they also have, coming up. So there are quite a few, and it's important, as you say, to get that information out there. So thank you for that. Anything else for the good of the order?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Ballas?
Yes, so next Thursday, the 25th at 2:00 at the Mays Landing Superior Courthouse, in the conference room, the Criminal Justice Advisory Board will meet. The topic for discussion is dogs in schools. At our last meeting, the director of the K-9 Academy, Joe Nichols, Joe Nick, came and addressed the board and basically proposing getting some dogs trained to go, dogs and a handler into a school. Now, of course, that process will probably take 6 months to 6 to 8 months to find a handler, find a dog, and get the training. The dogs are only trained to respond to a gunshot,
These were
firearms.
school dogs.
They're called
SKOO.
They're called school
So-
dogs.
We were well down the path of working on that with Joe Nick, right before the pandemic with Mr. Fedorko. So I don't know if we could dig up some information we pulled together.
Yeah, it
some
was-
Costs and.
Yeah, like I said, he gave a presentation. Mike Fedorko was there. You know, he's part of the Criminal Justice Advisory Board. The reason I bring it up is it's open to the public. Anybody from the public that wants to come out and listen.
Frank, you ain't telling us nothing now. I just figured I'd throw that one in there. No, Amy's right. We've been talking about it for those guys, all that information.
Yeah,
We thought it was.
I think it's a great program.
Yeah.
Joe has trained dogs in other states and very successfully has a dog in a school in Cape May County, and they're looking to put another one. But he's the trainer here in Atlantic County, and we have 0 here. And like I said, the difference between patrol dog, the dog's not there to sniff for drugs. The dog's not there to be aggressive. The dog's not there as a therapy dog. The dog's there for one purpose and one purpose only. If we have an active shooter, that dog is going to go to wherever them shots are.
It's comforting for the children too. Like
Yeah,
big
well,
one.
well,
No,
automatically.
actually, you can't.
Well,
you
they
can't
can't
pet
get near
that
it,
dog.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know they can't pet the dog, but it's just.
But some of the stories he tells about the dog in the Cape May County school. I mean, they may actually made up a little storybook about the dog. The kids, the kids have a great relationship with the dog, or they don't sit down and cuddle with the dog.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's something that if any of the commissioners are available 2:00 next Thursday, stop by. I know it's tough. It's tough.
Jeez.
Ernie, what you got?
I'm out of town.
You could
What
go.
was that?
You could go.
Commissioner Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, just full disclosure, I have the notice from the executive regarding that meeting, and it's not just handlers and dogs. It's armed officers and dogs. Just want to throw that out
Well,
In the schools.
in the schools.
most schools have the armed officers in them anyway.
Just want to say that because it was unclear.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Any?
Madam Chair, through you to our solicitor, I'd certainly like him to review that proposed resolution. I don't know if the rest of them want to get back to me.
Sure.
I can't speak for
I'm
nobody.
gonna reach out to you soon, in the next couple days.
Does anybody else have anything for the good of the order?
Seeing none, make motion for
No,
adjournment.
I'm not done.
Oh, I thought you was ready.
No, I have something to say. You cut me off.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I will say, Risley, you get chair the next meeting. The meeting was an hour.
All right. So since we'll not be meeting again until after Labor Day, I want to wish everyone a safe holiday and a friendly reminder that all the schools will and are back in session, and we need to be mindful of children who are walking to school or getting on and off the buses. But wish everybody a happy holiday. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made second. All those in favor? Aye.